record number of taxpayers who filed their ITRs as of, in fact, this morning. We're given to understand. In fact, if Amit continues to be with us, let's quickly understand from Amit where the numbers are. 6.5 crore taxpayers so far. And that is a considerable high number given that it was 5.8 crore taxpayers as of last year. Is Amit with us? Amit is not with us. But Kartik is with us.
We can run you
Good
through
morning.
those numbers. Of course, 6.5 crore
6.5
taxpayers.
crores.
I think that is a huge
Something
number.
to cheer about.
And something to cheer. So congratulations to you, to me. Congratulations to India. I think 6.5 crores is a great markup over what we saw last year at 5.8 crore. And these are taxes that were filed actually till 6 p.m. yesterday. So till 6 p.m. the data tweeted out by the Income Tax Department suggested 6.5 crore Indians had filed taxes. Now, of course, the filing option was open till midnight. So we would have seen, I'm sure, much more numbers, a couple of more lakhs definitely added. That data is yet to come out. But yeah, I think overall, it's a big number to rejoice. I think what is also interesting, Shweta, to point out here is the efficiency and the agility with which the Income Tax Department is processing and verifying the income tax returns this year. So, data available till the 27th of July, which was 4 days before the last date of filing income taxes of 31st July was arrived at, the Income Tax Department had verified almost 90%, 88% of all the taxes filed. Now, add to that another 50%. So, 50% of the total refunds or processing of the income tax data was already done, which means either refunds or additional tax due or a nil balance. The processing of data was done for up to 50% of the cases. And I think that is something which is fairly efficient and agile.
Okay. I am still bothered by that number. 140 crore people in this country, 6.5 crore people filing income tax returns. Are the rest of them not earning? What's happening here?
So I think, Shweta, see, to be fair, I think let's divide this 1.4 crore population at least by 4. 140. The average, the 140 crore, at least by 4, right? That becomes the average family size still in India, right? And I don't know whether this would be an accurate average to take or not, because many people still continue to live in joint families where there are parents or grandparents over the age of 80, I think is the exemption. Over 80, you don't need to file your income taxes. So, well, maybe I'm not sure if 4 would be the right denominator. Maybe we should divide by 5 as a better average. And that brings us down to a number of about 35 or 36 odd crore Indians. Out of those 36 crore Indians, only 6.5 crore Indians have paid taxes. So, that is almost a sixth of our assumption of the total number of bread earners in the country, at least paying taxes, right? So, the number is definitely worrying. But unfortunately, India also has many exemptions in the form of, let's say, the entire agriculture community. So, even if we were to assume modestly that 30% of the country is still agriculture driven, so from that 36 odd crores, knock off another 1/3. So, that brings it down to another 24 odd crores. So, overall, yeah, I think, we could still very well build a case that no more than 25% of Indians who are due to file their income tax returns are still filing their income tax returns. But is government data going to sort of corroborate that when we tally it with PAN cards, with bank accounts? Are we going to be able to arrive at that 25% figure or not? I don't know. But given the tools and technology with which the government is operating and going after tax evaders, I think we should be able to see this year, I'm confident and hopeful that we should be able to see the government going after tax evaders, in quite a robust manner. Absolutely. Not something that we have seen right now. I think the process that the Income Tax Department used to follow, at least till last year, was a random selection of potential tax evaders. So, let's say, out of this entire pool, you will randomly pick up 100, and out of those 100, you may find 20, 25 with discrepancies. And then you sort of, you use that to extrapolate the data to a population scale. I think now, given artificial intelligence, given the linkages between banks and Aadhaar and PAN accounts and records with the government, a better, smarter, more efficient, more accurate reconciliation should be done. And we should arrive at a more scientific number of how many Indians are actually liable to pay taxes, and then a ratio of the 6.5 or upwards, we're still counting, or upwards of Indians who have indeed filed taxes.
All right. And in fact, it's interesting, important to point out the number of taxpayers are increasing. The number was about 5.8 crore people. It is 6.5 crore. It's a very small increase, but again, something to cheer here. It's interesting to point out that it will be becoming more and more difficult for a person to fall through the net, the tax net, because government is getting more innovative in figuring out where you are evading taxes by what means. So your purchases, your high-end, high-value purchases would be, government would be going through them. Your bank statements, perhaps, where you've either been a part of an industry which was untapped so far, so luxury items, etc. All of that is now in government's radar, and this is a story we've been tracking here for a while as to how it is going to become increasingly difficult for you to hide your expenses and therefore also hide your income. So innovative ways there that the government is going to come up with, and in fact is coming up with framework on how to figure out and get hold of people who are continuing to evade taxes.
And I think one more addition to that, Shweta, would be, you may have a threshold of no taxes till, let's say, 5 lakh rupees of income. Now, this includes a significant chunk of the population which should still be empowered to at least file zero returns, right? I think a lot of people that we would be employing, let's say, as domestic help, or drivers, or or people from a lower strata of society who are drawing income, and that income is either in cash or even a UPI transfer or a bank account transfer. These people continue to own the Aadhaar card, have a PAN number, have bank accounts, would be eligible in our calculation of people we feel eligible to be in the tax net as a division of the 140 crore population that we have in the country. But I don't think even the Saral filing of taxes makes it easy, or they feel they are incumbent to declare that income. I think a lot of transactions are happening, on across the streets today. Absolutely. At hawkers, at other people who are digitized, who have these QR codes that you scan and pay. Money is going into their bank accounts. Many of them, I suspect, would be drawing in a gross salary, if not net, at least a gross income at a business level or an individual level of over, let's say, 30,000-40,000 rupees a month. I think their receipts would be much higher than that.
I agree, 7%.
But lack of knowledge, understanding, ease of filing taxes, no strict enforcement of by way of communication that yes, even if you have an income under 5 lakh rupees, you are still incumbent to file a zero return. I think once that communication is through and once that enforcement happens, we will see this number of 6.5 crore triple very easily, if not more.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the concern here is with largely unorganized sector, people who do not essentially believe that they are a part of the formal employment structure and therefore don't feel the need to file taxes.
And yet they are banked, yet they are digitized, yet they have a PAN account, yet they have an Aadhaar number. So overall,
there is a footprint here,
there is a footprint. There's a complete digital and financial footprint here, except that it's not considered, like you said, formal economy, and hence, and I think education levels also don't coax them or coerce them to go ahead and file. And of course, the whole income tax portal being digitized, many people still dependent on chartered accountants to file taxes. I think these frictions need to be eased significantly, wherein, it should be made as simple as, hey, this is your total income as per records of your bank statements. And if you are in agreement with this, and translate it in multiple languages. Click this button to say yes, click this button to say no and report inaccuracies. I think just that clicking of yes and an automated income tax filing should also do the job. But of course, it opens up another Pandora's box of cyber frauds and this and that. But yeah, I think overall we have to address this rural economy, informal economy being included in the formal number of taxpayers.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, I think that would be next in radar for government to ensure more people who usually fall through the income tax net do not do so in near future. Perhaps some measures there would be prudent, but a number that we can all look on our screens at this point in time, 6.5 crore taxpayers, is good for government, augurs well.